Over a year ago, I transformed my backyard shed into what you're looking at. And in this video, I'm gonna be going over all the things I did right and going over some of the things I wish I would have done a little bit differently.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out, you.
So one of my favorite things about this shop is I went with an open concept. This way I can visually see all of my tools and I'm not going out and repurchasing things. One of my biggest pet peeve is kind of leaving everything down in boxes or in tool bags, kind of stuffing them under shelves. This way, really get a really good visual on what I have. That way I can just walk in, grab it, not really spending a bunch of money going out and repurchasing things. A super cool feature in this shop is gonna be this extension cord. It runs 100 feet, so I can run it all the way out for any tools that I need an extension cord outside of the shop, but also this goes anywhere inside the shop. And then once you're done with it, all you do is pull back on that tab and it releases right back where you need it. Another amazing feature in this shop, a lot like this extension cord, is this air compressor that I've got hooked up here down to a pancake compressor underneath there. Same thing with this, it pulls anywhere I need in my shop, and it makes cleaning your tools really easy. And once you're done cleaning your shop, go ahead and give that a quick tug. And it goes right back to where it needs to. So this is one of my favorite tools in the shop, and it's actually super inexpensive. I think everyone should have this in their shop if they don't already. And what this does is it hooks up to the router station and the miter station, and then up top here is gonna be hooked up to the vacuum. And all it does is basically anytime you turn on one of your tools, it's gonna go ahead and switch on that vacuum automatically, making it super easy for shop cleanup. So another cool feature in this shop is gonna be this shop vacuum. I've actually got it hooked up here to a cyclone, and then on the bottom I went and built these custom wheels. That way anytime I'm moving around the shop, this thing just kind of follows me around. And then also the cyclone, what this does is it's going to collect all of the heavy dust, which is saving my actual shop vac here. So everything in this shop I built and designed to make it modular, and what that means is I've added caster wheels onto everything, which makes everything super easy to move around. And then also, if I ever need to pull anything outside to cut larger pieces, it's easy to do so. So I built this miter saw station, and it's actually one of my favorite things inside of the shop. The only bad side about this is when I designed this, I designed it for a completely different saw, and this kind of led to a few bad features. So if you can see here, basically anytime I shift it to the left, I can only get about a 32-degree angle on here. On the right side, I'm able to get the full 60 degrees, so sometimes it makes it a little bit awkward when I have to make longer cuts, especially that need to be cut on the left side. And all the reason is this piece here ended up protruding out a little bit further, and it really messed it up. I am super excited about the Bosch miter saw system. I think honestly it's probably one of the best miter saws that I've ever owned, and one of the coolest features about it is if you can see the back. Normally on a miter saw station you're gonna have a super elongated back, but on this one it's actually super flat. And then as you can see here, they've patented this design where the arm actually fluctuates forward and then it easily goes back. This is super cool, especially in a small space where you really don't have all that room on the back to be able to push this up. And then also, like I mentioned earlier, everything's modular. So if I need to move this onto the right side of the shop to the back of the shop, I don't want a huge back end on here. So that feature there is pretty cool. The other big mistake I made on this miter saw station is, again, I was building it for a different saw, so I put all the T-tracks to fit that other saw, and now anytime I go to put stop blocks it doesn't align with the back fence here that you can see on the Bosch. So these are a few, you know, minor things. I definitely will rebuild one of these stations in the future, but as of now, you know, it still does the job. I think it's a pretty awesome system, and especially adding the routing table over here on this side was a great feature. And as you can see here, this fence lines up perfectly, so this actually isn't in the way. Anytime I'm cutting things, or if I need to cut stuff for the routing station, the miter station's not in the way. If I need to cut things in the miter station, the routing table's not in the way. So the design was actually pretty good. I just had that one major flaw of putting the wrong miter station in and then purchasing a new one after that. So let's get into the table saw. This table was designed by me. Honestly, the purpose of the table is awesome. I've got so much storage underneath. The T-Track system I actually use all the time. The one thing that this thing was built for though was the table saw, and I'm just gonna be honest, I put a Craftsman table saw in there. It sucks. Like, everything about this table is awesome, minus the feature that I actually need to work, and that's gonna be the table saw. In the future, I definitely am just gonna purchase, you know, a massive Grizzly and then build an outfeed table on that. I do love this table. I love everything about this table, minus the table saw. So I don't even know if I'd call it a table saw station at this point. It really just kind of moves its way around my shop. Great for storage underneath. I store a lot of tools down there. Shop vacs hooked up to the saw there, but realistically, I rarely use the table saw just because it was a design flaw on my end here, where I constantly have to lower or move it upwards, and then I just never get the right cuts out of this. I could do some more modifications in the future and build it out a little bit better, but in reality, I just think it honestly was a massive failure. I won't be doing this in the future, but the table itself is a badass table. So I live in Tampa, Florida, and one of the big things that you're gonna need anywhere in a hot state is going to be an AC unit. So I actually installed this AC unit. It goes through the window. This helps my shop out a lot, and then I partnered it with this Tornado fan that I purchased off of Amazon. Together they do just the perfect amount. It's not super cool in here, but you know, I'll still break a sweat in the summer months, but in reality, it's the perfect temperature for a shop. Even when I'm just hanging out in here watching TV or whatever, you know, between the two of those, I can stay pretty cool. The one downside is, and this isn't gonna be a problem for you if you don't film YouTube channels, but sorry, YouTube videos. If you don't film YouTube videos, not YouTube channels, but the fan, I can't turn the fan on when I'm filming. It's just gonna mess up all the audio. So that is a downside, not for the shop, but if you are filming on YouTube, that's gonna make a lot of noise, and that kind of sucks. But if I'm not filming, it's awesome. Hey guys, that pretty much wraps it up for this video, but if you're interested in any of the items that I mentioned today, make sure you go ahead and check those out in the link below. Also, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one. And if you're interested on how I built this shed, go ahead and click this video right here.